Hello and welcome to my look at the week's new cinema releases in the UK. There are trailers below in the description, and I'm starting with World War Z. Well, they call it World War Z, but yeah, this is the UK, so we call it Z. United Nations employee Jerry Lane, Brad Pitt, traverses the world in a race against time to stop the zombie pandemic that is toppling armies and governments and threatening to decimate humanity itself. Directed by Mark Forster and also starring James Badge Dale, Matthew Fox and David Morse, this looks like a great action-packed film, but while it's released in both 2D and 3D, I can't see what 3D would add from the trailer, so I think I'll just be seeing it in 2D, especially since all the 3D was added in post-production, so it wasn't even filmed in 3D. After that we've got A Haunted House. And Malcolm and Kisha move into their dream home, but soon learn a demon also resides there. When Kisha becomes possessed, Malcolm, determined to keep his sex life on track, turns to a priest, a psychic and a team of Ghostbusters for help. Starring Marlon Wayans, Marlena Forte, Essence Atkins and a whole load of other people you've never heard of, this is another of those spoof movies which have long since become pointless. This one borrows from Paranormal Activity, The Devil Inside and many more, and it's enough for a slightly amusing trailer, but that's about it. Then we have Snitch, where a father goes undercover for the DEA in order to free his son who was imprisoned after being set up in a drug deal. Starring Dwayne Johnson, Barry Pepper, Don Berthnell and Susan Sarandon, the trailer took forever to get going and was hardly inspiring even for an action film. I won't be watching it, but if you want to, it's out in the UK cinemas this Friday, some time after its original planned release date of April the 5th. Then we have Black Rock, where three childhood friends set aside their personal issues and reunite for a girls' weekend on a remote island off the coast of Maine. One wrong move turns a weekend getaway into a deadly fight for survival. Starring Casey Asselton, also the writer and director, Kate Bosworth, Will Bouvier, and the ridiculously named Lake Bell, the wrong move is that all the men on the island start wanting to kill all the women. Okay, they're very annoying, but that isn't an excuse for mass murder. Well, perhaps reserve that for Katie Asselton, who's responsible for this predictable pile of shit. Then we have Before Midnight. And from writer-director Richard Linklater, and again starring Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy, we meet Jesse and Celine 9 years on in Greece. Almost 2 decades have passed since their first meeting on that train bound for Vienna. Now, I've still not got around to watching the first 2 films, and I really should, I know, but especially as this looks like an enjoyable movie, so maybe soon. And finally we have Spike Island. And a rising indie band travels to Spike Island in Cheshire in May of 1990 to see the Stone Roses. Starring Elliot Tittenzor, Nico Miraglulo, whatever his name is, Jordan Murphy, Emilia Clarke, and Chris Coghill. It looks alright, but nothing amazing. I was 18 and going to university when the Stone Roses were at their height, so the music blared out of the student union, and while some of it was good, some of it was overhyped. I was never a fan of Fool's Gold, for example, but I did like other tracks such as I Am the Resurrection, so I can't see myself rushing to see this. I might go and see the one that what's his name, Shane Meadows has done about the Stone Roses, but I'm not going to go and see this, I don't think. Okay, so out of all those films this week, the only one worth watching is World War Z. Not Z, it's Z. Okay, thanks for watching and check back next week for a look at more new cinema releases.